Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
But anyway, my friends, I was going on and asking about crimes that just we don't know. I would insist upon being on the cold case squad. Do you ever hear about the story of Judge Crater? That's a New York story. Judge, his name is Joseph Force Crater. It's a great name, right? Force, like learned hand. Force Crater. He vanished on August the 6th, 1930 in New York City. The New York Supreme Court justice was last seen leaving a Manhattan restaurant after saying he was stepping out to make a call. He never returned home. His disappearance sparked massive searches and speculation involving political corruption and organized crime. No body was found, and in 1939 he was declared legally dead, but the case remains unsolved. And by the way, Judge Crater is always used as an example of that mystery, that open-ended mystery. What happened? How do people just disappear? It's fascinating. So when you ask the question, could Epstein be alive? Could Charlie Kirk be alive? Could whoever be alive? Could these people? Yes, absolutely. But of course, you would have to go under extreme forms of reacclimation or whatever. Now, the story also, which fascinates me, and there's this list I came up with of just mysteries. The Zodiac Killer. It was a San Francisco case, but they're still trying to find that one. Son of Sam. Son of Sam, one day, is going to say, once and for all, and convince people that the story was nonsense. I did not hear voices. It was not me. I said that because I was worried about them coming after my relatives. It's other people. I mean, I was involved in some of this, but not everything. Watch what happens. And do you realize all of the promotions and all of the story and all? Can you imagine somebody going back and undoing the Son of Sam and saying, you know what? That's really not the guy who did this. But in terms of the storyline, remember there's one thing which is very interesting. There was a friend of mine, Maury Terry. Maury was a great friend of mine. He wrote this book, which is a definitive book on, I don't know, something of evil, or I think it was an HBO story, or Netflix perhaps. And he said, you don't understand something. There's a lot of people who made their career in this story. A lot of people who retired, got all kinds of promotions. You're not going to have anybody go back and change this. And it reminds me of something from one of the greatest movies of all time. The man who killed Liberty Valance, or shot Liberty Valance. And the line is, when the legend becomes fact, print the legend. So much, I'm a stickler for this, so much of what we say and we believe is based upon what we repeat. It's a whole notion of the epistemology. How do we know what we know? I'm not going to do this now, but I've heard some of the people talk about war in history. I have to turn it off. I don't even know what they're talking about. Say, where have you been? But it's what people think they know. Let's go through a couple of beauties. What was the first case ever? The first case ever of who did it. The guy that got away. What's the biggest one ever? To this day. This should be easy.
Who shot JR?
That's good. Now you know why the dog is in such trouble. Now you know why this 16-month-old German Shepherd is forever branded as a problem. Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper was the first one. Did you ever see the pictures of this? Really, I don't want to say good, but this dude knew what he was doing. August 10th to November 1888. That's it, 2 months. That's all it was. Whitechapel, London. 5 women, just five, brutally murdered in London's East End. The killer sent letters to media outlets citing as Jack the Ripper, fueling public hysteria. And despite more than a century of suspects, theories, and modern forensic attempts, no suspect has ever been definitively proven. The identity remains unknown. They said it might have been a member of the royal family, had to have been a surgeon, somebody would have known this, always prostitutes. Just 2 months. Just 2 months. And it changed everything. It was the first case. This obviously was somebody, I think. Well, who knows? In that particular time, without any DNA, could have gotten away with it. But normally, things like that did not happen. We did not have serial killers. The notion of the serial killer came later. That was an anomaly.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.